The Bunker Project, episode number 12. This week on The Bunker Project, we talk about Google Voice, Toktumi, and a whole lot of tangents. Welcome back to another awesome episode of The Bunker Project, and we are in the Bunker Bar on Robson Street in downtown Vancouver. I'm here with Bob, the marketing mentor, Garlic.
Thank you for that wonderful intro.
And the last show, we got a little bit carried away with the chocolate and
Carried away,
bacon
come on.
chocolate. And
Totally OD. In fact, after the show, I went out into the bar and I was handing out extra samples of
the bacon.
the bacon chocolate. And the only people that freaked out were these three Irish guys. It's almost like a joke to mine. Three Irish guys are sitting in the bar. The guy comes up, offers them bacon chocolate. What happens? So anyway, I did that. I came back. They'd split the bar, so I totally freaked him out. Hey, man, want some bacon chocolate? He sniffed it, and he's like, oh, my God. I come from a country where bacon's real. They got all freaked out about it. But those are the Irish for you.
Well, I'm Irish, or half Irish. And
Well, there you go. See?
I loved it.
Well, you're just weird. Look at your haircut. That's not an Irish haircut.
I'm also a Guinness freak, too.
Anyway, so what the heck are we going to talk about on this show?
Well, we were intending to talk about Hootsuite and
revisit
other,
Hootsuite.
Revisit Hootsuite, yes, and talk about other alternatives to Hootsuite and things like that. But we got carried away with the chocolate, and now we're back this week, and we're going to go into that. We're going to go into Google Voice, and for those of you like me who are really ticked off that we don't have access to Google Voice in Canada. Well, there is an alternative. It's called Toktumi, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, sounds really awesome.
And we're still waiting, and you never
hang
know.
on. Here's our sexy waitress.
She's
Look at that. She's got that.
Offer you any other beverages?
Hey, she's high on chocolate, so,
I really am, actually.
That is, look at you. Like, you're out of control. Look at that. Your whole strap situation is like, wow. She's like a bondage queen the way she said it. Was awesome. I tell you, the Bunker Bar. I tell you. I say, yeah, we have exclusive video for paying customers.
She did the Dr. Evil move.
Yeah. She's got the Dr. Evil looking very nice.
$1 million.
That's that bacon chocolate at work, I tell you.
That's all good?
Yeah, we're cool
good.
for now. Give us 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
We're ready for another one. Oh, thank y'all. Yeah. Basically, translate that. Your bunker is my bunker,
All
I think
right.
she said.
Mikasa.
Hey, how the heck can you say that? Like, Mokasa, what was it? What did you say?
Mikasa Stukasa? Mikasa Stukasa. My house is your house.
Yeah. But how would you say bunker? Me bunker.
Me bunker. Two bunker. Anyways,
geez.
she came in. Our waitress, as you call her, came in and offered us some beverages. But we're fueled.
She was offering us a lot more than
we're
just beverages, I tell you.
totally fueled up and ready to go. So we're going to talk about Google Voice and
monetization. Let's talk about monetization. So
yep, that's on our list too. Monetization of social platforms. So let's start with that.
And also, I'm going to slip indignation. Revision 3 TV. I don't know if you guys are watching that. Those guys are amazing. They're friggin' amazing, man. And I can say that.
I haven't watched all their episodes. I've watched some of their episodes.
Like 200 and something episodes. I watched like
they're funny.
12 or 13. These guys are hilarious.
Hey, you know what? They're kind of similar.
It's kind of like us.
They're kind of similar
just
to
like
us.
Totally. There's the straight techie guy.
Well, they're similar in a way.
And there's the loony.
They drink beer. Okay, that's similar.
They chug beer.
Yes.
But they get to go to Vegas.
Well, you know
they
what?
Get
They
these
don't have video.
sponsors. The guy owns Dig.
Our video stopped. Is the battery dead?
Oh, I hope so. Embarrassing. Yeah.
I think the battery must be dead.
Or the card's full.
No, the card shouldn't be full. I think I moved everything.
Is it like a 17 terabyte card you put in there?
So what's a Google Talk?
We'll get into that.
Yeah. See, we got our listening audience here. We got our live audience. Like, what? Come on, you're teasing me again, man. You say you're gonna do something, you don't talk about.
So we got one show in there.
Yeah, we killed it, man. We killed it.
We killed the battery of our video, and that was a good segue into what I was going to say. I said, hey, the difference between their show and our show is that they're a video podcast and we're an audio podcast. But
they're podcasts. I mean, they're just like
podcast is a podcast.
Fun, cool information, and these guys are hilarious, man.
Yes.
Two California dudes. In fact, I'd invite them up here, but they probably don't have passports because they're American. So, what? I'm just getting
Well,
an evil look from everyone.
do they need-
What
do-
did I say?
Well, hang on a second. Do Americans need a passport to get into Canada?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and
Does it go both ways? Because I
and
know
red-
we
and a
never did.
tattoo.
We never did need a passport to get into the United States
No, it's the new
until a few years ago.
No, and then there's that big
Well,
embargo thing
driver's
with
license
tattoos.
was fine. A driver's license was fine before. So
No, forget it, man. They changed that. You got to have a passport, and which freaked everybody out because like how will an American actually do the paperwork to get a passport to come into Canada?
Hey, don't make fun of 60% of our listeners.
Sorry, dudes, but okay. Here's
Yeah,
60% of our listeners. How many of you guys have a passport? That's a good question because if you don't, go get one. They don't cost that much, and they're great for picking up girls in bars. So that's all I have to say on that
And
subject.
yeah.
Except for the tattoo. If you come to Canada, they make you have a tattoo with a Canadian maple leaf tattoo.
So let's talk about social
It's red.
platforms.
It's real nice.
Because how many social platforms are there? There's hundreds of them.
Well,
How many of them are charging for their services? Not very many. And
how many of them making money is probably a better question.
yeah,
How many are going to
how many are
survive
making money,
because they're
and
making
how many
money?
of them are working on the we'll figure it out later concept?
Well, what's
of-
Facebook's valued at? Like $1 trillion right now?
So Facebook is one of the exceptions. Twitter just started. LinkedIn, yeah.
But how do they make money?
Well, they make money on advertising.
I don't see any.
You have to pay. You can pay for a premium in LinkedIn, and then you can have your inner email connections with other LinkedIn members.
Oh, yeah.
So
That totally ticks me off
so,
about that. 'Cause it's like, oh, I want to connect with that person. I think, you got to be a
So-
premium member. So I just, there's a lot of workaround. Yeah, I did a big workaround on it, but
so LinkedIn has a premium model. Twitter,
Most social network that do use some monetary exchange are the dating ones. All the rest, free.
yeah,
So what is the end game for these companies? Because
death or
12
success.
seconds.tv, we talked about it at the beginning of the
Yeah,
show last
died a
week,
horrible death.
and they're finished. And
Oh, there's hundreds of them out there.
and there's lots of them that have really good services that people would be willing to pay for.
Okay, I have a great example.
Yeah,
IMDb, International Movie Database. I don't know if you guys watch
Internet Movie Database.
Yeah, IMDb. They are awesome. I discovered them years and years and years ago. And the way they monetize is say, hey, look, we have the best database on movies that exist. I mean, it's unbelievable. And if you're a professional reviewer of TV and movies, you get a pro account. And then all this other stuff opens up to you, which you can actually use to do your job. So, yeah, it makes sense to pay that. I don't even know how much you pay for a pro account. It's not that much. But just by offering that, they were able to monetize it, and that's why they're still around. And I tell you, that's awesome because I hear about like a great new TV show or a great new movie, and before I download it, I go to IMDb and I check out the reviews and I check out what other people are saying. And it's a very community-based thing. Like, so you got the official reviews. They'll have like 15 official reviews from all the major papers, but then they'll have reviews by people just like me, and they say, oh yeah, I'm into sci-fi, and this one sucks. So I said, okay. So this probably sucks. And I'll look at the commercial ones like People Magazine and New York Times. I say, oh, a wonderful movie. And so you really get a comparison. And really, that's what the Internet's about.
Well, here's another example. There's another platform called Xmarks. And
Xmarks. What the heck's that?
X marks the spot.
I thought it was like for X-Files.
No, Xmarks. What Xmarks is it's a platform that you can install or you can set up to synchronize all your bookmarks across multiple browsers. So you log into Chrome, and you log into Firefox, or you log into Internet Explorer, and your bookmarks are synced. And it does a lot more than just that, because if it just did that, why not use Google Bookmarks? But it does a lot more than that, and I've never used the service personally, but I know a lot of people that did, and they announced that they were finished as well. And it's because they never monetized it, and you can only keep providing a service and spending money for so long before you're toast. Now, what happened with them though is that the users of this product freaked out, and they said, wait a minute, I'll pay $20-$30 a year or whatever it is that you charge, as long as it's reasonable, to keep you guys alive. And so then they announced, okay, well, maybe we were too premature. We didn't realize that so many people were willing to pay. So they're coming up with a paid model. And there's another,
But you know what? That there's a huge difference. I remember that way back in the day, before the internet. That's how old I am. No, just kidding.
well, you don't have to be too old.
Yeah, I know. So I was in working in Bangkok, and a guy wanted to launch a magazine. We just about to launch a magazine, and he got around, and we did a prototype of the magazine, and he shopped it around all his buddies and said, hey, look, I'm doing this magazine. Would you like to do it? It's going to be all the things that are happening in Bangkok. And I tell you, that's a city that needs a guide. I mean, there's a billion things happening in that city. And he went around. Everyone said, oh, this is cool. This is great. Yeah. We'll pay for advertising. And he publishes the thing, $60,000 for 20 issues, plus a staff of 17, plus my bill. And he shops it around and says, hey, so can you please give us like $1,500 for a full page ad? He says, well, can we wait for a couple issues? And then, he dug himself a massive hole for 6 months. So you compare that to putting out an internet thing. Yeah, you dig these massive $1 million holes or multi-million-dollar holes on the assumption, and I have to emphasize the assumption, that you'll be able to monetize it. And you may have the most wonderful, ridiculously virally popular, let's say Twitter, and then the crunch is, how do you monetize the damn thing? And Twitter is a prime example. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of millions of accounts, probably only 20% of them are actually active, but still, they still have server space and all the stuff related to have that many customers. How can they monetize it?
Well, Twitter is monetizing now with the new Twitter.
But think how long it's been out.
Yeah,
think how much people have been pumping money in to have these servers to have all these accounts.
With Twitter, I've never been really worried about Twitter because they're so big and they've got such an influence.
And you're a shareholder, right?
But they definitely have the ability to monetize, and I think they're being very calculating about it and taking their time. And with the new Twitter, they've got advertising in there. There's a lot of features that a lot of people want in Twitter, and to me, I think that, well, not yet, but I think that that's what they should do. They should bring out a pro level where you get your threaded tweets and you get certain things that you don't get in the free model, and that'll bring money into the company.
But it's a tough move. It's easy enough to discuss, but actually doing it, here we got Twitter, we got hundreds of millions of popular people, and suddenly we're going to monetize it, and then you get hundreds of million people saying
Well, wait a minute. That's we can talk about what the wrong way to do it is.
Yeah.
But I think that the right way to do it is to keep it the way it is, and then add more features that are charged.
You gotta pay for
that you have to pay for, not doing it the other way where you're suddenly charging for things that you were giving away for free already. But
because once you've given away for free, you can never charge for it.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Ning.com. Now, on Business Tech Weekly, Cliff Ravenscraft's
that's a podcast answer
with Andy, with Andy Traub, where they talk about this all the time. They talk about
is it This Week in Tech? They talk about it.
They talk about wanting to pay for services or wanting to deal with companies that they know they're going to be around in 6 months, 12 months, or whatever.
Listen to those numbers: 6 months, 12 months. Not like 5 years, 10 years. Companies have been around for 6 months, 12 months. That's ridiculous. You know how fast a year goes by in my life? It's not a lot of time to put it together.
Yeah, well, I know from experience how quickly you can go out of business.
Yeah.
When you don't have an income stream or investors supporting you. So.
Yeah, well, the day you go out of business is the day that you realize that you shouldn't open the business.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Oh, so okay, let's move on. This is too much. I'm so depressed, man. Let's talk about something positive, that alternative telephone service. Because
before we get into that, let's talk about the wrong way of doing it. And Ning.com, which is a social network that allows you to develop your own social network.
Yeah.
And they lost a ton of their subscribers because they were providing everything for free, and then they decided to go to a paid model and just basically took away everything And if you it's all or nothing, you have to pay, and they've got these tiered levels. So that's an example of the wrong way to do it. Hootsuite as well. Instead of just adding premium features, they took away a lot of the things that you're getting for free already. So people started looking for alternatives, and we're going to talk about some alternatives coming up as well for Hootsuite.
Okay. Also, but even beyond that, not even monetizing, if you change your website, it can devastate it. Look what happened with Dig.
Yes,
yeah,
Dig.
exactly. It's like those guys. It's like, oh, we're going to improve, and then just like millions. Okay, maybe not millions, but anyways, many people, more than 12 people, abandoned Dig. Like I do not use Dig because I used.
Oh, you were a big
RSS.
Dig user.
Oh yeah, I did all my content with Dig because it was great. I was like RSS, boom, boom, boom. Here's my 40 stories. Oh, this is a great article, blah blah blah. And they changed it over, and my RSS didn't work anymore. And I sent him an email, and just to give you an idea, here is it. Bob, the little guy in Vancouver, sends out a message to Dig and say, dudes, my RSS software doesn't interface with you. And he gave him the name of it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But basically, they sent me an email back. That's how freaked out these tech guys were that are putting it together. Yeah, we're aware of this problem. We're working on it, man. We're trying to get it to work. And then I go to Dig Nation, and that's what's great about that show. It's like basically the guy that started the damn company. And he said, oh, yeah, we've just launched it. And we put it up, and it fell in its face. And we propped it up, and it fell in its face. And it fell in its face for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Sorry, I don't use Dig anymore because I need my contact Monday morning. If it doesn't work, by Wednesday, if it doesn't work, guess what? I'll go to alternative services. And all the alternative services are just as good as Dig. And so, okay, I've solved my problem. I don't have to go back to Dig. So I don't think about Dig anymore. Even though I watch their show and I enjoy the two dudes, I'm not a Dig dude. Oh, now, okay, we have a comment from our
just
peanut audience.
one comment
Yeah,
about that subject. I think one of the main reasons most of these services will disappear will because they are becoming just one feature in the social networks. For example, Twitter, you already have the status bar. In this Facebook, Facebook now has Facebook Places, which will probably replace Yelp or Foursquare and so on. All these services until now, they were just themselves, but they weren't in a context of something social.
Let me ask you a
That's
question.
the main reason why they disappear, not just because the monetization part.
Sure.
no,
let me ask
absolutely,
you.
absolutely.
Let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
Do you think that Twitter is only about the status? Like there's certain aspects of Twitter that have Facebook cannot replace.
I disagree because still, when you send out a status or a tweet or something, as long as you're inside a context, which in the Facebook case is a social context, in Twitter it's less that. But in Facebook you have a much bigger social content. So
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm
disagree.
gonna jump in here. It's not that I disagree. I read an amazing article how Facebook, in the next 3 to 5 years, is going to be the biggest thing on the internet, bigger than Google, because they're right on the edge.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I totally agree with that. And the things that they're doing, working with Microsoft with the Office suite to bring it into Facebook, they've got big plans. Now, the thing is, Twitter though is, and you kind of have to get into Twitter to really get a feel for this.
I'm iffy. But okay, here we go.
Twitter, I mean, from my point of view, I used it for my personal use, and I check it also for my business needs and so on, also for my Wix platform needs and so on. It's so full of...
Oh yeah, it's totally
I mean,
manipulated. It's
It's
manipulated.
overflowing right now.
Oh yeah,
It's too much.
there's a lot of spam in
It's too much.
in Twitter.
Well, no, beyond, and I'm going to step in here, and I read a story or heard about this week. This big movie Hollywood celebrity got busted for cocaine use. Okay, no big deal. But anyways, she got busted for the minute that she was getting the actual time log based on her booking sheet. She was twittering. So how the heck can she be twittering in a different location and getting busted at the same time? So really, all those celebrity Twitter units, and all the people that are like, got 1.4 million people following them, all it is their PR agency doing it. So what are you following? You're just being led by it. So there's a big thing. Now I'm going to lead this, and you're going to love this one. The difference between having, 80,000 followers or 20,000 followers or 17 followers is the difference between the 17 followers or like the 2,000 followers is that's an authentic audience.
Yes.
And that is what the podcast Answer Man's about. And if you have people that follow you on Twitter and people that follow you on Facebook, he says the test is if you can name their first and last name and know a personal thing about them.
So
that's the qualifier.
And he was saying in his Social Media Serenity podcast, he was saying, okay, am I making a mistake by not following back everybody because I'm not being seen as giving? And anyways, he won't follow you unless he has interacted with you in some way. He's got a lot more followers than he's got several thousand followers, but he only follows
45,000. But he says
no, he doesn't. He's got about 4,500 followers.
Really?
Yeah, no.
It's bigger numbers.
No, 4,500, around that. But he only follows people that he personally knows, people that are in his GSPN.TV community. He'll follow people that he's dealt with on a consulting basis, or people who have, if they follow him and he reaches out to them and they have a dialogue back and forth, he'll continue to follow them. But he won't follow them if they're just somebody that's following him to get a follow back to increase their numbers. Because that's what people do on Twitter. It's all about the number. You follow as many people, and there's a strategy to this. You follow people who are in your communities of interest that are the leaders that have the most followers, and they're going to follow you back. So you follow them and you cherry pick your followers. They're going to follow you back, and you build up your list, and then you prune your list so that you end up with the big list and a smaller following list.
Which is total false representation of the reality.
But what it is it's popularity versus influence. Now, people who are very popular, like LeBron James, who as soon as he opened his Twitter account, had millions of followers within a few weeks. He tweets out whatever he's doing and saying and all this, and he gets a very low percentage of click-throughs on his links, and any of his calls, any call to action that he puts out there, very low percentage, because people are only following him because he's LeBron James.
No, they're following because they get status by saying, "Oh, I follow him."
Yeah,
which
maybe
it's even one more section connected.
But you're very disconnected from LeBron James. On the other hand, we're using Cliff Ravenscraft, the podcast Answer Man, as an example. People that follow him,
they're all over.
Are in his community, and when he sends out a tweet and when he's talking about the power of Twitter to one of his clients, his client said, "Well, I don't believe in Twitter. I don't want to say what I'm doing having for breakfast and all this." And he goes, "Okay, let me show you something." And he types in and tweets out says, "Hey, I'm just testing out one of my clients' web pages. If you go to this website, www.soandso.com, that would be great." And he had Woopra, I think it was, open, so you can see real time people coming to the site.
And a bunch of people, boom, boom, boom,
a ton
boom.
of people started coming to the site, and the guy's like, holy smokes, right? There's something to this. But it's not about trying to get the biggest number you can. It's not about trying to become super popular on Twitter.
No, it's authentic relationships.
Just to get the number. No, exactly. And
okay, hang on, we got the peanut gallery over here. Okay.
To continue what you were saying, I don't believe Twitter is, if you're LeBron James or whoever, some celebrity, it doesn't matter if you have a Twitter or not, right?
Yeah, well, it's the old PR game.
Yeah, but as most of the other people, or as a business, I think Twitter is very good just to have a real-time alert when someone is speaking about you or your business, and then you can help them or comment.
Mm-hmm.
As a support tool for a business, if someone complains about your product, in real time, you can find out about it and stop it there
Exactly.
before it becomes too much.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Twitter.
Well, not
But
even stop it
not-
there. You can turn the whole situation around.
Exactly.
Okay.
best-
In real time.
And
Yes.
and you know what? And I totally agree with that. But in this world, all these corporations and businesses, they don't get it. I'm going in there and I'm consulting with businesses.
I agree.
You got to have people that are dedicated to doing that, and they have to have board access in the sense that your guy that's doing social media is one of the most important people in your Marcom department, and he on Monday morning when you're bored, that's the CEO, basically your C-suite sits down. This dude, who's probably like between 21 and 25 years old, is sitting there with his dirty jeans on, and they're saying, "So what's going on?" And he's saying, like, "Well, okay, well, people hate the BM 416 that we launched 3 months ago because of these 17 faults," and they're going like, "What? So let's
Perfect.
fix it."
A perfect example
That's
is,
when it works, and nobody's set up like that. They're all chicken to do it.
I know everyone talks about this one, but the perfect example is Comcast down in the States.
Oh, don't get me started.
Where a cable company, where an internet company, where it's everybody same thing. TELUS, Shaw, whatever. You're going to have people that
Spoiled
are pissed
brats.
off at these companies, so they go online and blah blah. And I haven't had my service in 2 weeks because of this, and they're not coming in, and so
Oh, my bandwidth sucks. I mean, that's a classic.
yeah. So like people are,
not
are
even broken.
complaining on Twitter about their Comcast service, and then along comes Comcast Cares, and
Which
they
is totally
they
separate
tweet
from
back
that.
and solve the guy's problem publicly in real time, just like you said,
Yeah.
on
Okay,
Twitter.
okay, you got me
and
there.
and boom, turns
Comcast
a
is
PR
the hero.
nightmare into like this hero.
Yeah.
And now here's the Bunker Project talking about it because every podcast
Viral.
every podcast that deals with this subject is talking about Comcast Cares and
Yeah.
talk about a viral.
But how simple is that? That's just a guy in a decision-making meeting, that's C-suite, saying, "Hey, guys, we've got a major PR issue, and I can solve it. Give me the power," and say, "Okay," and
Yeah.
the little water
So this
sprays on him,
guy-
and he gets blessed. And okay,
So
go
this
out,
guy
do your
talks
thing.
to the guy on Twitter publicly at reply and says, "Oh, I'm sorry that this is happening," and says, "Here, email me your contact information and blah blah blah." Gets the service up that day, and says, "Oh, your service is up," and then the guy replies, "Wow, thank you very much." Blah blah blah. Problem solved.
Exactly.
And
then
not only
everybody goes
problem
like,
solved,
"Ooh,
but it becomes
cool.
a viral
It becomes cool."
PR bonanza.
Yeah, a solution becomes the way the corporation, because that's what they are, deals with the problem. It becomes cool because for a corporation to listen to the single guy is a cool thing to happen.
Yeah.
And you think about what the
And-
podcast
and, you know,
Answer Man did.
and-
Remember that?
Yeah,
thing
but what
somebody- Okay, go ahead.
he doesn't follow corporations and
No, I was listening to a show and he got totally dissed by this dude. And he say, "I'm thinking," he got like an email thing. I think it was like a phone thing. "I'm considering not following you." Or on iTunes, what happens when
Unsubscribing.
I'm thinking of unsubscribing to you. And he spent 20 minutes of his 1 hour show talking to the guy personally on his podcast. He's like, "Look,
yeah.
I'm really concerned about that." And he talks about it and
Yeah.
he talks about it. But he also
The
defends
guy,
himself.
he sent him an email and he
"I'm not happy about this." And then he says, "Look, I totally agree with you and I'm on your side and I understand what it said." And I was, I didn't know what I was doing. But then he doesn't wimp out. He said, "But here's 5 other people that called and said, 'We love what you just did.'" So he says, "Here I am doing my podcast. I'm getting his feedback. You don't like it. 5 other people like it. So I totally agree with you. And you know what? I am going to improve my shoe based on your opinion, but I also have to respect these other 5 people that have an opinion." Now that is authentic content.
and then he made it very clear that as a podcaster and as having you as a listener, I very 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 much value you as a listener, and I want you to remain a listener. And this is where I'm going with this, and I hope that you
Keep
appreciate
following
it.
me. Yeah, absolutely. That guy listened to that podcast like, "Oh my God, this guy, he's authentic."
He is authentic. And now,
It's
while we're
totally
talking about
authentic.
this, you mentioned a few podcasts back when we always seem to come back to Cliff Ravenscraft, but
Yeah, Cliff, can you just mention some other people because it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, we'll
just to
have
let you
pick
know,
somebody else to talk
I've
about
been like, how many shows he's got? Like 187, 200 shows.
in that one podcast, but he's put out like 2,400
Yeah, but the
shows.
podcast Answer Man, I've been just like ODing on it, and I have listened to 100. I think a couple of shows back I said that, but really I checked it. I have listened to about 100 of his shows. I'm getting down to the lower shows and saying, I've heard this before.
Well, I've
And
listened to all 179 episodes,
Yeah,
and they're awesome.
But
More than once, actually.
But he's crazy. You know what I'm into right now is a Twit, This Week in Tech.
Oh, yeah, that's an awesome show.
What a cool show. And this guy makes $1.5 million a year.
A couple of years ago, it's more
Oh,
than
okay,
that
so
now.
like $3 million, $2 million. The guy makes a piss load of money doing these podcasts. And okay, he has a network. He's got like 8, 9, 10 shows. Who knows? But I listen to
He's on the radio. He's a radio personality
He's a
and a TV personality. So
But he started before he was a radio personality before he got into it.
Yeah, like 40 years already.
Yeah, no,
He started as a journalist
Yeah.
before the tech industry,
exactly.
before the internet, before everything.
So
But
he
he's
had-
milking for all he's got, and he's really good at
Oh,
what
he's
he does.
he's awesome.
He spent,
He's
you know what he spent? He spent
the
$1 million.
father of podcasting, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, you know,
Well, Adam Curry is the father of podcasting, but
but this guy's
but
the
this
father of
guy's-
doing it right.
this guy's the
Well, you know,
granddaddy
I was
of
listening to one of his
podcasting.
shows and let it slip. He spent $1 million per studio. $1 million per studio. That means basically it's called a cottage, and he's got a house, and he's converted into this its area. So he probably lives in it and stuff. But anyways, he's got these areas. People are like, oh, this is so cool. What they don't realize is this cool room that looks like a normal room has $1 million worth of technology
Yeah,
and baffling and sound
I-
stuff that makes
I'm-
it sound great.
You know what? I'm sure that that it does, but I don't think he paid for it all. I'm sure that some of that was from promotions and I mean,
Well-
look how many listeners he's got. I'm sure that he
but
got
that's
some of it.
that's accounting semantics.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
okay,
Good
so
enough.
so I have a sponsors and I got $12 million $1.5 million in money. Some of that may be, here's $700 worth of mics, or here's $4,000 worth of cabling, or blah blah blah. But he still had other people come in, like the carpenter and the painter and stuff like that. So basically, his accounting costs. If you went to his account and say, "Hey, how much it costs for these studios?" He said, "You're coming in around $1 million a pop." $1 million, dude. Now here we are in the bunker bar, and I came in here earlier, and there was a guy that's racking up. They got these beautiful boxes, and the guy says, "Why the hell do you do it here? I mean, are you nut? I mean, this guy is like, are you nuts?" He said, "No, it's all about atmosphere, and it's cool, and it's a perfect place to do it." And that is what podcasting is about, because you can do it at this level, or you can do it at his level. You can spend $1 million and get a bunch of sponsors and yada, or build to that, or you can do the way we're doing, which is basically guerrilla style. You know what do we got here? Like $500 worth of equipment, not including your beautiful Tascam that costs you $100.
Not even
But really, and a couple of bottles
Yeah,
of beautiful
I
wine
guess
and
about
some
that.
chocolate and some wonderful guests, and then a bar full of people that really aren't involved with us at all, but still, we're doing our thing, and it sounds great, and that's what it's all about.
I
And that's
agree.
my rant. So all I'm going to
100%.
say, I'm going to shut up now. No, he's not.
Now, one thing ooh.
Oh, nice. Thank you very
Wow.
much.
There
So
it goes.
okay,
That was,
I
Windows.
just have to apologize for all the Mac listeners here. This guy, he's got a really nice, what's it, a MacBook. It's one of the white units, and he's running a bloody PC software on it.
Well,
Those Microsoft guys, I don't
The
know.
reason why is because Pod Producer is not available on the Mac, and that's Pod Producer. We'll talk
Hey,
about it later.
Can you smell that? That sounds BC Bud. Somebody smoking BC Bud?
No.
That's awesome. This is sound radio. Ever been on a highway and you hit a skunk and then you got a waft of skunk?
Yeah.
That's what it smells like in BC when somebody is like sparking up a bud. And that's what we got happening in the bunker. Not that we're doing it.
Well, you know,
But it's sounding,
my,
smelling pretty good.
my girlfriend has like a hyper, I don't know, steroid nose or something.
Oh, my
because-
wife too.
Because we're driving
Like
along
3 blocks away.
and she says she can smell a skunk. And I'm like, no,
Yeah, it's
no.
bud. Someone
And then
sparked
5 minutes later, holy smokes, I smell a skunk. And I'm like,
No, that's the weed, man. Come on, this is the weeds happening. Yeah, I know. The TH level in the smoke in this it just doesn't count.
yeah. Anyways, this is a good time to talk about this little stick here.
Anything to get Bob off of it.
Right here in the bunker right now. And the Wi-Fi connection is not very reliable. So
Well, it's non-existent. What even non-reliable? It
yeah,
just doesn't
well, for the
exist. It's
past-
dead dinosaur.
past three
Nothing.
three meetups, we haven't had any internet connection,
Yeah.
so we've been flying in the dark here. But
So
now
this is
we've
Andrew and I
got
talking about last night. You say,
Yeah.
hey, how are we going to do this? Well, let's just get TAS to sponsor us. I says, how do we do it? Well, you work for them. Steal it, and we'll say they're a sponsor. So it's a stolen sponsor, man.
no, it's not stolen.
Oh, you got permission.
I said, hey, we'll mention you in the show, and we got a free
As you walked out of the
Internet.
door. And we're going to mention you in the show.
mobile
Everybody-
internet key. So this mobile internet key is sponsored by TAC Mobility.
And that's one of those, like, what do you call those things that you plug in the computer, the interfaces that everybody uses?
It's a USB.
Thank you. The USB. It's like a USB thumbnail. But anyways, these guys got in, so they get the plugs.
Yep. So
Thank you, dudes. I appreciate it.
Yep.
And so to back it all up, that's what that sound was. So that ding was brought to you by
TAC Mobility.
TAC
All
Mobility.
right.
I'm gonna look at my notes here. Hey, we were talking about okay, we did this. The monetization. We've done that. Oh, see. Thank you, TAC Mobility. Google Voice, dude. Let's talk about Google Voice.
Okay.
Oh, hang on a second. I want you to come up and tell me. Get on the mic and tell me that.
What?
Get up, woman, and talk to me on the mic.
Well, because I'm not totally familiar with social media, half of what you're saying goes right over my head.
Okay,
But I'm
that's,
still here wanting to learn.
okay, that's cool. So that's a very good question. So that's a shout out to all the people who are listening. How much of a show goes way over your head because we want to, it's about
we'll get-
social media marketing
For next
and
week,
stuff like that.
we'll get you a taller chair to sit on.
Yeah, one of those big hats. But really, if you get ranting and really, basically it's Andrew's fault because I get emails. Hey, Bob, check out this new technology, and I'm having a hard time keeping up with it. And I do this professionally, so if we're doing stuff that is just freaking you out, the speed that we're introducing new technology, just say, hey, dudes, can you please talk about that technology again, or the application of that technology, or like explain it a little bit more? We'd love to do it because let's face it, we got 200 shows to go.
Yep, absolutely. Now, do you want to talk about Google Voice, or do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Google Voice, because then after the Google Voice, because it's not available in Canada, which sucks.
Okay, let's talk about
And
that.
then we
Let's
can
talk
talk
about
about
that story.
the solution.
So Google Voice was originally, it was called Grand Central, and it was available, in Canada, the U.S., and elsewhere. And it was this really cool phone switchboard interface, online interface. And Google purchased them way back in 2006, I believe, or 2007.
Yeah, close enough. This century.
Yeah. So now for what they did is once they purchased them, they made it available only in the United States and said it'll be in Canada and elsewhere very soon.
No.
No.
I'm just like, the way you're sounding, it's like, yeah, we're just going to open in the States. Hey, they opened in the States because they had permission to do it.
No,
and then they
I-
come together, hello,
okay,
we
okay.
want to open in Canada.
What are you
and the
talking about?
CRT says, hey, man,
Yeah, you know
back
what?
off.
It's easy to think that, and I thought that for a long time too. But if Grand Central can do it, why can't Google do it? They don't have to
Absolutely.
get permission. It's the internet. There's another reason why they didn't want to do it.
And what is that?
I think because Google is so big and they took this platform and they didn't release it to everybody. You had to get it by invitation only, just like when they first released Gmail and when they with
Yeah,
Google
they wanna
Wave and
play with
everything
it, but
else.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make sure that they had the capacity to do it. So that's what I think. It's got nothing to do with the CRTC.
So
or
it's
getting
internal
permission.
politics
Yes.
or internal process.
Internal process. And anyways,
Hey,
I've been waiting for Google Voice for 2 years. And
That's how far ahead of the curve he is. I hadn't even heard of it for 2 weeks, and he says, "I've been waiting for 2 years." I said, "What are you talking about? I've just heard about this." He said, "Oh yeah."
no, Google Voice, I've been waiting for it forever. It might not be 2 years, but a year and a half.
Well,
or
on the
two-
internet, 2 years isn't forever.
It's okay. So
Oh
what?
yeah, sorry.
So Google Voice is a phone switchboard, and just before I start getting into it, I'm going to reference somebody who has done an informational product. He was charging $30 for this informational product on Google Voice. He recently started doing it for free, and it's Andy Traub over at andytraub.com. So if you go to andytraub.com, you can order his informational product. And I just was watching it the other day. It's awesome. And it goes into great detail about Google Voice. So go over to andytraub.com and get it. And but
How do you
basically,
spell Trov? Trov.
Traub.
Trob.
Traub. Andy
Okay.
Traub.
There you go. Thanks to Bob.
What it is the best way to describe it is it's a phone switchboard system. So when you sign up for Google Voice, you get a phone number, right? And you can attach that. You can attach it to whatever you want.
And you can choose the number, right?
I believe you can choose the number, but because I haven't been able to register for it, I can't answer that question.
Maybe
but
we can do it out of Blaine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Next show, we'll see what we can do.
well, and there is a way, because I've been so interested in getting this that I
get my
went
brother to do it.
online and I found a way to get it using a fake IP address and all this, and I actually went through that process, and I was almost going to get it, and I'm like, you know what, I don't.
This is so underground.
I don't want an American number, and then I still have. Anyways, I've already got a Magic Jack with a California number.
Well, I want an American number because
Before we go any further, I'll just say what the Magic Jack is. Now that I brought it up, it's a little USB device. It's a few inches long, plugs into your computer through the USB.
well, just like the Telus Mobility one.
Yeah, like the Internet key, but what you do is you plug it into the USB, and on the other end of this little box is an RJ11. So you can plug any phone line.
What's an RJ11?
An RJ11 is a phone line. A phone line.
Okay, two wires or 4 wires?
It's just a regular phone jack.
Yeah, but a phone jack can have 2 or 4 wires. Oh, sorry, I'm just being a jerk here. All right, go ahead.
It's a
No,
standard.
he's so tech. Every
It's a
now and again I get to do that to him.
Yeah, it's a standard phone jack, and so you take any phone and you plug it into the other end, and it gives you a dial tone, and then you can just use the phone, and you get free calling all across North America for like $20 a year. So it's awesome, and I know people that use it for when they go on vacation to Mexico. They get the all-inclusive package in one of the hotels, and that comes with Wi-Fi, and they just plug in their Magic Jack with their phone, sit at the table in the lobby, and call home for free.
And
It's
say,
great.
hey, here I am in Mexico. Aren't you jealous?
Anyways, it's an awesome service. It's cheap. I already have it. I've got a California number. I signed up for it before the Canadian numbers were available, so now you can get it for a Canadian number.
And I just want to interject here. Andrew is very Californian, so that works for him big time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm
Come on.
working with you there.
I'm all about Magic Mountain. Oh yeah,
Hey,
the
we're not
colossal rules.
But I still don't understand what it is about. What can I use it for?
Okay,
The
so
Google Voice.
the Google Voice. Let's get back to the Google Voice. I went off on a tangent.
Telephone.
I went off
Come
on a
on,
tangent.
it's a telephone.
No,
It's
no,
no.
it's
Is it
not a
any
telephone.
different than a Skype number I can get?
Yeah, it's
from
different.
Skype?
It's
Well,
different.
it's
the
cheaper.
same?
It's
cheaper.
different.
Number one, it's cheaper.
Okay.
$6 a month?
No, it's free. Google Voice is free.
No, the numbers is a freemium.
Google Voice is free. You pay for your long distance calls if you're calling overseas, a very low rate. But Google Voice it's
There's a
better.
switchboard system.
It's
right?
better to describe it. Yes, it's a switchboard system. It's not a phone per
Okay,
se.
now, I'm just going
Now-
to jump in here. Now, let me just jump in here because I'm going to guide Andrew here for today. If you have a switchboard, what does that really mean? So that means like a personal person say, "Hi, Bob's not here. Would you like us to try to connect with him?" Or, "Hi, would you like to leave a message?" Or, "If you'd like to speak to Bob, press 1. If you'd like to speak to Andrew, press 2." That's a switchboard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, but
what else does
you
it do
can,
other than that?
there's a whole bunch of things it can do.
Like what?
Let's say you have a stalker, right?
I have at least
harassing
5,
you.
but I like them. So.
You don't want. I've been in that boat.
And I know her.
Those days are gone. Anyways, you can flag that person and block them, and when they call your number, it'll say, "I'm sorry, this number is not in service. This is a recording from switchboard -1," or whatever it is. So they get a message as if you canceled your number, basically. So you can do that.
Sorry,
but-
so I'm just going to jump in here. A totally tangent thing, because it totally relates to this. There's a thing called GIMP mode or whatever, and if you're on the internet and you're just like, blah, I hate your product, blah, you can go into like, I don't think it's GIMP mode, but anyways, basically what it does is they put you on this software junction, and all your emails, all your posts, you think they're posting onto their blog, but it's not. You're put into a a side section, and nobody gets to see your post except for you. And you just keep on, yeah, I hate you guys, and you're stuck, and blah, blah, blah. And nobody even sees it. And it was a big issue because the guys at Tech Radio, apparently the guy pissed off somebody, and he got put onto that, and he was like, oh, yeah, check out my stream, blah, blah, blah. And nobody was seeing it, but he thought it was happening because he was seeing it on his account. So I'll rewind the show, and we'll bring it up in the next show. But sorry, Andrew. Sorry, but I think that was a nice segue in there about using technology to, like, basically you're hi, I'm available to the world, and you can call me at this number, and then you get crazy people, and like, what do you do with them? And one of the things is, oh, this number doesn't exist anymore, so the person will never call you because it doesn't exist. Or you make it exist and they rant blah blah blah, and it just deletes the message, but they think they're getting through to you, and they're pacified by it. So that's another use of technology. Well, yeah, but if you're on the internet, you're publicizing. Like, look, we've got like 5 or 10 or 15 ways of getting a hold of the Bunker Project. We've got a business card we're hanging up with a phone number on it. That phone number is through this service we're talking about, right?
No.
Oh,
it's not.
Okay, so
Do you
that's
know
a
why?
nice segment. Why?
Do you know why it's not? Because
it wasn't me.
Google Voice is not available in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So what I did is I, instead of doing this, crazy way of faking an IP address to make it think like we're
You
in the
just
United
found something
States,
better.
I just found another product. It does cost money. It's not free like Google Voice.
But not much. What's like $6-8 a month?
It's $14.95 a month.
Well, okay.
So
I want the
and
discount.
it's called Talk to Me, TOKUMI at talktome.com.
No, isn't it TOKTUMI?
Isn't that what I said?
No.
Oh, one black beer too many.
TOKTUMI. Talk to me.
TUMI.
Talk to me.
.com.
.com.
So you can go over there and check it out. Actually, don't go over there and check it out unless you really want to.
Check it out. I demand.
Check it
that you
out
do.
at www.podcasthero.com and click on the little affiliate link in the middle, and we'll get some, if you've been considering coming here and buying us a black beer, if you take your free 30-day trial, we'll get basically a black beer out of the deal.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll buy into that.
So
I'll send you some chocolate.
show us some love. Go and sign up through our affiliate link and check out Talk to Me.
And also go to Facebook.
You don't even have to sign up. We'll still get our black beer if you even take the 30-day trial. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then
But
call us. When you get the 30-day trial, call us because it's free.
Exactly.
Well, actually, you can call us now. What's our number on our business card?
It's 1-877-636-1474.
Go for it.
1474.
Oh, and let me tell you about the deal we got.
No. Let's stay focused on Talk to Me. Otherwise, we're going to take 2 hours to finish this this podcast.
How many minutes were we into it? It was like 30, 40 minutes?
49 minutes.
All right. Finish the talk to me.
Okay, so Talk to Me, and I'm going to put on the show notes exactly what the difference is between Talk to Me, and we've got a little
Or
graphic.
not talk to me.
Yeah, Talk to Me, Google Voice, Vonage, and all the different things that do.
Mhm.
Basically what it is, it's a virtual PBX. So it's like a switchboard. So, when you call a business and they have hang
on a sec. We're going to round a beer here. We've got a lovely bondage
we've
waitress
got,
coming in. Okay, I will have another. I think this is number 14. Uh-oh. Oh, hey, we're going to get our lovely bondage waitress to come in here and take a shot of us. Here we go. Hey, and that music is Andrew's phone ringing, trying to get in. Hi, and we're back. Sorry, we just had that little intro. Andrew's better. What is it? A better part? What's the term?
You said better
Thank you, dear. Dead at 3/4. Well, and it's true.
Last time she came in, you said she was the
5/16.
better 3/4.
Yeah, and after today, I think it's 5/16. So, or like 10/16.
Yeah. So she called. She was wondering where I am. It's getting a little bit
'cause she
late.
has
We're normally finished by now.
It's her incredibly sexy French accent.
And we're normally finished the podcast by now. So, we started late and we did this huge chocolate festival.
Yeah, and I've had like 5 black beers. I mean, this is a record. This is outrageous. And we have our bondage.
And you know what? The thing is, we don't have our vitamin B1 patches yet. And I'm looking forward to that when we do an experiment, just like the beer, just like the
vitamin beer patch,
the beer pairing the beer pairing thing. We're gonna do a segment, Andrew's vitamin B1 hangover prevention patch.
I want to do a bondage show. The hell with the vitamin B. Okay, let's get some call answers. Do you want vitamin B or do you want bondage? Hey, that's my call. Anyways,
Thank you.
thank you, darling. Christina, doing a fabulous job.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Oh. All right, so we were talking about Google Voice and then how you can't get it in Canada, blah, blah, blah. And now we're talking about the solution, which is $14 if you want to have a PBX style phone system that enables you to
It's a full
do.
PBX style system. It's a phone switchboard, just like Google Voice, but it gives you a little bit more than Google Voice.
And why is that important to podcasters?
Well,
To get to the point. Because we got it on our business card.
we got it on our business card, and we've got a lot of American listeners. We've got some listeners overseas.
An Australian, crazy Australian guys
Australia,
like
we've
Black
got,
Beer,
we've
yeah.
got listeners in Ukraine.
Yep.
We've got listeners in
No
Thailand.
Oh yeah, we got the Thailand crew.
So basically, for that $14.95, you also get the option of taking a local number. But if you want, for no extra charge, you get a 1-800 number.
1-800.
So for a podcast, 1-800 number is great.
So call us, goddammit.
Call us. Leave
And we've
us
got this
voicemail
1-800
feedback.
number. Nobody's called
So-
us, and it's just to leave a message. You don't even actually talk to
So
us.
there's a lot of other features too. There's the auto responder, which was or auto attendant, sorry. Which,
Yeah.
So when you call, you can have it go to the auto attendant. The auto attendant will say,
Oh, let's say
to leave
hello,
voicemail
thank you for calling, but Andrew's in the shower right now.
to leave voicemail feedback for the show. Press 1, and then you can leave voicemail feedback.
Can you
send us
customize what they say though? Could you maybe type it in and customize?
Well, you can't customize what the caller is going to say. because
No, but
that's
you
up
can
to them.
customize what the answer.
Yes. you can
Hello, Andrew's in the shower, or Andrew's trying on some new high heels. Could
Yeah.
you- I mean, you could have a lot of fun with that. Hey, I'd pay $15 a month to put really weird stuff like that. Because, hello, this is Andrew's secretary talking, and he's trying on some high heels right
Well,
now.
it's a good
Would you
thing
like to leave
that
a message?
it's a good thing that it's my Talk to Me account, so I have full editorial control.
Yeah, he has to give me the code for some strange
There'll
reason.
be
I don't know.
There'll be no high heels. comment.
give me the login number.
So what you can do is you can set up a switchboard PBX system where people call. The autoresponder takes the call, says to leave voicemail feedback, press 1. To call Bob Garlick, press 2. To call Andrew McGivern, press 3. Find out more about the Bunker Project, press 4.
Yeah, to listen
Whatever
to
it
some
is.
dead air,
So you
press
can
5.
do that, and you can set it up so that if the caller ID isn't presented, it can it can intercept the call before it sends it to your cell phone.
It asks who your name is.
It'll say, please tell me your name.
That's
and
a
then,
great value.
And then the virtual assistant portion of Talk to Me will then call your phone, and then this computerized voice will say, you have a call from
Bob Garlick.
Eric. Do you want to accept the call?
No
Yes.
way.
Yes, I'll take the call, and then it comes through.
So Eric, there you go. Don't call me, call him, because you know what the answer is.
You can select individual numbers to go directly to voicemail. There's a whole bunch of things you can do
You
with
can
it.
have a lot of fun with that. You
Just-
could just like totally screw with people's mind.
But we're getting a little bit. We're totally scattered. in
Please
this
call back
podcast.
and press 15.
We're totally all over the map in this podcast. So
No, we're not.
basically what I would say
We're right
is
on the mark.
just go to podcasthero.com, click the link, and watch the screencast that they do. They're great.
Well, that
And
would have
it
been easier.
explains everything.
When did you say that 15 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Jeez, you just like the podcast answer man.
I think today we're lacking the in the pod. We're lacking the.
It's the chocolate.
We're lacking the We're lacking the organization.
No, it's not. It's just the chocolate. We're
Anyways.
out of control with the chocolate.
Totally out of control.
Hey, how
go to
many minutes we got?
podcasthero.com. Go to click on the link in the middle of the page, and watch the videos. Sign up for a free account. You get 30 days to try it out. It's an awesome service. Now
There's
another thing you can do with it.
Nope, we're out of time. 58 minutes,
on
dude.
the
Nope,
on,
sorry,
on the
can't help you. Nope, boot, trying to cut you off.
no, one more thing
All right.
on the
Nope, can't do it. All right, come on, be generous.
conference calls.
Yeah, to 20 people.
Yeah, so
20 people.
If you're using the soft phone,
I don't know that many people, but
if you're using the soft phone, what you can do with Talk to Me is somebody calls you, you answer the phone. Somebody else calls you, you answer the phone, add them to the conference call. You can call people and add them to the conference call. And you can do that up to 20 times. So you have 20 people on the conference call.
nice.
And there's no additional charge for that. That's
And you
included in the thing.
can you record it?
Yeah, and then at the end of the conference call, they email you a WAV file of the whole thing. So
Yeah,
you've got
wave, not JPEG, but wave, dudes. That's
Well,
a huge file, like 15, 20, 30 megabyte file. Killer.
So it's awesome. So then you have a record of the whole conference call, and it's a great
Well, they
service.
can't email that to you, right?
I mean, there's a lot of other services that do that charge a lot more than $15 a month. Now, the other thing
yes.
is that there's an iPhone app, and they're coming out with an Android app very soon.
Hey, how come we don't have an app?
We will.
Hey, actually, you know how much it costs in Canada to get a app? $5,000 to $10,000.
No.
Here's a call
No.
out. Yeah, that's what
No,
this
no,
lady
no.
said.
You have
To
to
deve-
pay for an app?
Yeah, to develop a custom app for the iPhone, $5,000 to $10,000. That's
No,
what
no,
this
no.
lady was saying.
No, you can.
Is that BS?
Well, no, it's not BS if you are developing this elaborate app.
Well,
From
that's what we
scratch.
want. We want an elaborate app. This is the Bunker Show, dude.
No,
We
no.
didn't have the weird
What
stuff.
has it got to do with Canada being developing
Well-
an app? Develop an app wherever you are.
Hey, I was just at a networking meeting, and this woman stood up, and I'm not going to mention her name, and she said, "Well, you know what? It costs $5,000 to $10,000, but we can do it for a fraction of the price." And then an actual app person sent up and said, "Well, yeah, that's true. I charge you $5,000 or $10,000 to do that." Maybe she's trying to sucker us into it. How much would it cost in Israel to do that? Or
It doesn't matter in
It's
Israel
free?
or not in Israel,
oh,
but you can have just two friends develop an app.
Yes.
It's just free.
Anybody who
if you can code,
the
code.
SDK is
I
out-
can't code.
The
I can't code.
The SDK is out there, and you can get anybody to do an app for you. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
I think we've lost our special guest here. Do
Android.
you know what we're talking about?
Of course I do, because I'm in this business.
All right, atta girl.
Anyways,
I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know.
anyways.
So
Back
no,
to-
hang on.
Back to where we were.
Where were we?
We were talking about the conference calling on. This is going to take a hell of a lot of editing. This one.
No.
is
Just
crazy.
let it flow,
This is
man.
anyways.
Totally
so,
out of control.
So there's an iPhone app for Toktumi. Toktumi has an iPhone app.
Yeah.
Android app is coming soon.
You click onto it, does some stuff.
And what you can do with this, and there's other services that do the same thing, but it's just really cool because it's all included. What you can do is you can log into the app. Let's say you have to call New York. You're not at home where you have your cheap long distance. You know you're going to pay 30 cents a minute.
This is a cool idea.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a very
so,
cool
so,
idea.
So you're on your mobile phone downtown Vancouver. You got to call New York. You know you're going to be
to
on the
order
phone
some
for-
pretzels.
you're gonna
I
be on
need
the-
those New York pretzels.
You're going to be on the phone for at least 30 minutes, so you know it's going to
Well,
cost
very
you money.
complex pretzels.
So you log into you open your Talk to Me app.
Yep.
The Talk to Me app dials your Talk to Me local number or your Talk to Me 1-800 number.
So you're still local.
And from the Talk to Me interface, it dials New York.
Yep.
So now it's voice over IP,
But still local.
and that's local.
Yep.
So you've called a local number. You still have to pay your local airtime on your phone, right? But you don't have to pay the additional long distance. So it's an awesome service that way. So that's just another thing you can do with Talk to Me.
I
There's-
think we get a little
you know-
feedback, and people it's like so
you know what?
confusing. People say, "Yeah, but couldn't I do this Skype?"
You know what? Just call us if you have any questions.
Hello.
You know, we've had a record black beer.
And
number of black beers
he's not
this
getting
week.
a commission on this guy, so he's not doing this to like sell a product or anything. He's just hyped on it. But that's what I love about Andrew.
No, but we are
He
getting a
loves his
commission if you go through. Not a big commission, but if you do go through,
He gets a
full
commission.
disclosure, we do get a commission if you go through hype.
He gets a commission, but you're buying the black beers.
Podcasthero.com. That'll subsidize Bob and my black beer consumption
Yeah.
at the Bunker Project, and
But
that's
not including
actually
the chocolate.
the cost of doing this podcast. The
It's
biggest
horrendous.
expense is
We've
the
spent
black
like
beer.
$700,000 on black beer already.
So yeah, and
Hey, so to wrap up the show, because we're at least 20 minutes. This show's gonna be at least 20 minutes long by now. What else? What are we gonna talk about next week? Hey, I want to talk about apps. I mean, I'm really freaked out. It's like
okay. So let's
next
talk about.
week we're
let's
gonna
talk
about how can you
no.
get a $10.
Yeah, actually, you know.
Oh,
hey,
hang on.
a second. Hang on a
We've
second.
got a guess. No, guess. You have to mic it.
Hey.
Mic it.
Next time, we're going to talk about small business needs.
Hey, you know,
especially websites creation.
I got an idea here,
You're on, dude.
And after that, we're going to talk about books
Eric.
And apps.
and
Yeah.
social media aspect in books.
Eric, just while we were on topic, this meetup we were talking about how platforms have a revenue model. Now Wix.com, you can sign up and you can do everything for free.
Yeah, it's a freemium model.
Yeah, but if you want your own domain, So let's say we do a bunker project.
Yeah, you buy your own
site.
domain in, let's say,
So we could have-
GoDaddy or whatever,
yeah.
which is usually like $20 a month,
Yeah, and port it
more
over.
or less. But then you just have to connect your design from the Wixcom platform to your domain, and
So-
that's it.
And
So
it-
that is one of the premium
And that's
features
$10 a
that
month?
you need to pay for them.
It's like $10 a month or something.
No, even less.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, cost effective to the extreme. Just to
Hey.
connect your domain, it's
Eric.
about $5 a month. That's it.
Eric,
and you have an active website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're
Next
going to
week,
learn a lot about
let's,
that.
Let's talk
Let's
about it
go
next
into
week.
the
Let's
details
go.
next
Yeah, we're
week.
gonna go into detail. And what we're gonna study his competition so we can take the piss out of him. Yeah. All right. It's gonna be awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we'll bring out the chocolate to really make it gnarly. Yeah. Hey, this has been
All
a
right.
great show on chocolate. It's better than the booze.
Well, that was last week, the chocolate.
Yeah, not bad. I tell you, it was so good it lasted till this week. Oh,
Flashback.
hey,
We had a chocolate flashback.
I had
This
like
is great
7
from
pounds of the
chocolate.
stuff she gave me. So like we're doing it for the next 6 weeks. Man, oh man, that's good shit. Oops, sorry.
All right. And on that note, holy smokes, what a podcast. We will see you again next week.
Thanks for
We'll
tuning
have,
in. It was
we'll-
awesome.
We'll have Wix.com coming on next week. Eric.
Eric is coming back,
Definitely. But
but
don't you have don't you think you should have a closing statement for each show, like this
Yeah,
is
Eric.
London or something, or this is Vancouver or something?
okay, here we are in the bunker bar
This
trying to
is
control our guests. And,
Our closing statement. Good point. We need a closing statement for future episodes.
Send
And-
checks to Bob at.
Let's make this social and
Or
let's
fair.
send your closing statements over to the Facebook page on the Bunker Project, and we'll pick the winner. That'll be the closing statement.
And I'm submitting
right.
myself too.
So we've got a lot of points of contact. We've got the meetup page. We've got Uncensored Social Underground.
Oh,
we've
by the
got-
way, if you contact us and give us your address, we will mail you our business card.
yes,
Hey,
that's
got it.
right.
Including a fax. That's been copied,
Exact-
Xerox, and put in the envelope.
Exactamento, and that's the end of the show. And
Thank you for joining us and putting up with this crazy, crazy, crazy show.
Yes. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week.
Maybe.